Alright guys, I'm back. So, we left off with me actually finishing the goddamn thing. Can you believe it? We actually got it all done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be unit testing. Because that's something we gotta do. Haven't really done that yet. And I'm pretty unfamiliar with XUnit, so we're gonna be learning. Anyway, the first one is not empty. So, is not empty. Returns. Not empty success. I think that's the best name I can give it. Data row can't exist unless you specify it's a theory, I believe. Then you can say I don't know. Theory data? Yes. Like if I did STR and I did. No. I forget how to do this. How to inline data. That's what it was. So you could say inline data. There we go. That's basically how you have to do it. And we're looking to do. Yeah, and I don't have that setting on for everything, just for the project, which is interesting. Huh. Okay. So, what we're gonna plan to do is take in a string input and test what it would do. So, range act assert act result, or just say like variable res val error equals input logic that is not empty and then we can assert dot true res assert dot not default. Does that exist? No. Not equal. And val and assert dot null error. and then theory inline data public void is not empty. Fail. So you can do this. So we can say specify error equals input logic dot str, and then assert dot false res assert dot equal string dot empty val, and then assert dot not null error, or what you would rather expect, an exact match. And then the expected, which is input cannot be empty, or something like that, right? Let's do like empty. I mean, there's only two types of things you can test: empty and null. That's it. Or no. That would also count, because it's nor white space, right? Run tests. There we go. All succeeded. Say I were to do this. Why does it pull up the terminal every time? I don't like that. Hello? Wait, so how does strings nor white space work? No, that runs the code. Come on. Why is the terminal automatically there? I don't like that. Okay, now it seems to work. I don't want you, you stupid terminal. Go fuck yourself. Okay, well, every time I do that, okay, so it's because I don't set it to anything. Most likely. Why does it work the other time then? That I don't get. Give me a moment. Most likely because I don't set the string not empty. Okay, can you load, please? Let me also attempt it with this is such a weird way of testing. I think this is just how XUnit works now. Yes, this works, it seems. Supposedly. Then you run this. Seems to work. Everything's passing. Why does it have to be like this every time? That's annoying. There we go. Okay, so that seemed to work. Foundation result has been fully tested. Input logic has been fully tested. Diverse string utils. I guess. Yo. Okay, yep. Doing unit tests at the moment. It's fun times, obviously. Okay. Yeah, I obviously gotta pull it up. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here. Here we go. First thing we gotta test is truncate. Why not? Public void truncate turns truncated string theory inline data string str int max length, say like cut off at 4, and then I should probably do a string expected as well. That'd be hell ... Okay, then arrange act. I'm just going to be truncated equals string.truncate max length assert dot equal expected truncated, and then give some more inline data like perfect. Perfect. And how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19. Perfect. You don't even need to be reasonable about it. Just do some random wacky shit and it will work. Yeah, you cocksucker. You don't want to fucking work, do ya? Load the goddamn fucking test, you fucking bitch. Jesus. Is it because I don't have, like, some type of thing on? It's probably what it is. Did I miss something? No. Why the fuck are you not loading? Or is it loading? I don't fucking know what it's doing anymore. So wait, okay, so it's not running these tests. Why is it not running these tests? What is this garbage? This is so dumb. Oh my god, what is this garbage? Wait, so, huh? I'm so confused. What? Okay. So you run this. Well, it runs that. I'm so unbelievably confused. I think this thing is having a fit. Cause okay, so what? It works? Or is it what? Huh. No, I think these are just the old ones. Oh yeah, I see now. These are the real ones. It's just because unit tests are garbage. So everything is still here even though I changed it. You know, I thought X unit would be better, but I guess not. I guess they're just as bad. I guess I gotta also test if you were to change it very slightly. And then turns ends with chars. Okay, string append string str int max length. I don't know. Inline data. Question mark or something. I don't know. 6. I don't know. Don't know if you can really make much more of this. There we go. Can I do ends with? Yep, I can. Cool. Ends with append str. Ellipsis is append. And it should be truncated. Okay. I'm not stupid this time. I actually know what's going on. And there's 2 of them for some reason. String end does not match. Oh yeah, because I did append. What am I doing? Well, no, yeah. That is what it's supposed to be. Then what exactly is going on here? So the append here, stab was truncated. Oh, the length is too long. 10. Disconnect. Now it should work. Yeah, but it still says there's shit missing. I don't get XUnit in the slightest. It's just really weird, but that's fine. Just makes constant mistakes. I'll get out of here. What else can I test? Theory, inline data, for public, void. What else do I have? Bold. Terms, bold, string. Pretty easy to test. Arrange, act. Just string bold equals string str. Inline data. Okay, so now we're going to say string.bold. Just object actually. So I can also say something like 1, or I could say inline data. I don't know. What else is like an object? Datetime. New datetime. Is that allowed? I don't think so because it's a. Yeah, no. So I'll just do that. It's good enough. Get the gist after that. Assert dot starts with \u str1b str bold, and then change this to that, and then to 1m, I guess. And assert dot ends with \u str1b 0m bold. Probably works. Just check for the check mark. It's good enough. Well, it says it succeeded. Feel like I have to run it multiple times though, because it didn't show up. Okay, so there it works. If I actually run it, yeah, it'll work. Okay, I guess that's that tested. Next, do some other shit. Public void. What else do we have? I guess the next one's the set color. Yeah. And get RGB, so I can just set color. Set color returns colored string. I'm just going to require a string str color, and I guess a expected RBG or RGB. So oh, low battery. Didn't even notice. Love when that happens. So int R in B in G. I don't know. So now I don't even know what those values are. 255, 0, and 0 most likely. For this is, don't feel like fixing the thing I just added. Color.red, is that allowed? No. No, I just say int color value, and then state arrange act string colored equals string dot set color color value. So you have that. That's not what I said. Using project.data models, I think it is. Yeah. And then assert dot starts with backslash u001b. What was that? What was it that I did? Like create to RGB for colored, and assert dot ends with backslash u001b 38 0m. Oh yeah, make sure it says M. Yeah, that was one M and two. Okay. Yeah, that, and state that it's colored. I think when you run this like that, it doesn't create the new ones, it just runs what already exists. Oh, something went wrong. Everything is red, I didn't know that. Which one failed exactly? Hold on. What do you mean? That's gonna have to be done in here somewhere. So if I click here, don't debug it like that. This one, debug. Right, so B would be 1, apparently. No, instead of this, just say like int hex, I guess. No, because like, yeah, there's not really an easy way to do this. Wait, RBG, I just realized this should be RGB. And this should be apparently 0, 0, and 1. I feel like that's wrong. Just a slight suspicion. Hold on. Of course I can't click it now because it's fucking piss awful shit. Okay, so this is 0, this is 0, and this is 1. 001M. Still says that it fails, even though it's a completely different test now, but okay. Yeah, see, now it works. So, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna look up the hex code of blue, which is 0000FF. Right. Which means in color, which is in data models. Or blue. So okay, does this still work? Yeah, that works. So how about now? This would fail, right? I think this would fail. Debug this test in specific. I think this is the right one, right? So color is 0. That's why it's failing, because we're not pasting it to a color. Because the color value, I didn't mean to click that button, because now it's kind of trying to do this. I don't care. Hold on. Stating like color value. Oh yeah, no, I can't do it like that because it's not based like that. That'd be right, so then I can be like no, it needs to be its own thing apparently. disagree with that notion, but okay. Okay. What do you mean? Yeah, I think it's doing an older test. I don't get what you're doing. Okay, the system not in 32. But it's fine. And these, I'm assuming, just don't exist anymore. Oh, these. These run. And they work. This is a horrible fucking system, ain't it? I don't know why I thought it would be better than MS Test, but it's bad. It's bad. Well, they all succeeded at the very least. So, I mean, if you do it like that, but what about coverage? Yeah, that works. Yeah, okay, so all this is tested. Well, that's great. Time for some more random things in business logic. So we're going to start with, I guess, user logic tests. Namespace tests of business. Distributed utilities. Give me a sec. How hot is my CPU right now? Alright, that's dangerously high. Perhaps I should close some tabs. Calming down. Alright, I don't know what the fuck was going on there. CPU got to almost like 90 degrees Celsius. Damn. Anyway, public sealed class user logic tests. Now what are we doing for user logic? Alright. Now yeah, this is where it gets complicated though. Because I need to have like a setup, right? Alright. Could do static user logic tests. Yeah, what if I run just like a bit of entering input? They run in parallel, right? Which means, yeah, you need to set up some test data. This, and then you can say this user logic dot add. How would you make test data for this? Let's say for int I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, right? I have a good idea. We're just gonna say new user array of size 10. Length. There we go. We can say users I equals new user given I just one, I guess. New string maybe for int j equals 0, j is less than 8, j plus plus, we'll say string factory str string builder, maybe better. Builder equals new string builder. You know? We can then say builder.append random.shared.next object 255 and then do char. Right, and then I can simply just throw in builder.toString. Only allocated ones, so that we can say value. Yeah, and then save string salt equals data hasher dot get salt by 64 salt the salt itself. It's going to be this would be ID2, for example. Exactly what this is. Being value new string. I don't know, just value plus just say, I guess, int random equals and then I can say char random. There we go. I have no idea what I'm doing. think this even runs. You think if I debug it, if it's going to run this? No, so I'm gonna have to do some other like tests. So I guess type of it's always going to be true, but I don't care. It's just to see what happens. Right, so that makes this run. Alright, let me just turn this off. Just close all tabs. What would happen here? Name goes K K K K K K K K. Alright. Why is this failing here? Alright, I'm gonna close 0. I think that's where the error came from. So let's see here. So in users, we've got, hold on, users 0. This is what you end up getting. Pretty good, huh? Cool. So I think that works. So that's a good start. And then we need to actually do some tests. So now let me actually go over to wherever it is. User logic, which is in logic, so here. So let's say you wanted to add a user. Just say add success, I guess. And then we're just gonna say arrange. Say user equals. I just grab like, yeah, this, and then also say user logic dot add users I. So then we have range act assert. For arrange, we're just going to say just, yeah, like that. User logic dot add user assert dot, okay, yeah, and then we're going to say, because this returns nothing. Then we need a join date. Which this we can just make identical. And then empty. Like that. And then add user. And then user found equals user logic dot get by name dot null found. String.empty, you're most likely not going to find anything, right? So or assert.null, not found. Find by name. You don't really have to test this, just test with one data set. You really don't need more. So how would this go? Attempt it again. Just doesn't want to run for some reason. Run all, see what happens. Okay, it exists and seems to have succeeded. So there you go. Really don't need to do much else there. I mean, I could do more there, but I don't need to, you know? I mean, to be fair, I'm probably going to do it anyway. Because I'm that type of guy. Alright. Keeping it up here. Alright. Yeah. Add, update, delete. I always do this stuff all at the same time. Yeah, we're gonna say just set last seen, update user, and then assert dot not equal so what's not equal here? New user is the exact same line. Right? The new user dot last seen dot, yeah. This would be found dot last seen. And then gotta run all tests again, I guess. What would that do? Seems to succeed. And then act again. User logic dot delete. Just realized this should be all like found. This should be dot delete new user. And then assert, deleted equals, again, same logic, just applied here, and assert dot is null, or just assert.null deleted. These are always extremely long. But hey, I tested it, I think. I can't tell because this thing is weird as fuck, but I seem to have done it. So how's it going for the logic? Data hash has been tested mostly, so that's a good sign. User logic has now been tested slightly. Can I actually see what's been tested? Because I don't see that. Well, it's most likely get by search. Get by search, verify login, and is about a password. So, and we're just gonna do, this would be a theory, and say inline data, search, right, so, public void get by search returns array of users, a string search, right? So then we can say arrange, act, and assert. So here again, we just say user array users. I can spell those. User logic dot get by search. I don't know, just do like a. I mean, it'd be pretty random though. And if I do 100. I mean, you're bound to get it if you have 100 of them. I think. Assert dot not empty users. Okay. It's not empty. Check if it's not empty. Search. Kind of hard to test when they're kind of randomized. Okay, just randomly all of a sudden an update comes out and now we have to install an update randomly. Okay, great. Right, empty equals user logic dot get my search. It's not gonna come up with anything. I think this is one of those things that you're better off making a fact, because it's just like pointless to have anything for it. Retry it. seems to work. Okay. It seems to work semi-consistently. Well, if I have it be a... If I do this, like... It will always contain 8, right? Always. Or wait, better idea actually is to just builder.append here. So like builder.append the a jar. And then when you look up a, you'll always get something. So you have to test really. Pointless doing unit tests for this shit. Then vary probably. User logic. There's a few more things we have to test. Verify login. I don't know, I'll just say for the last one, salt equal. Make this static. I just say like salt equals salt. No, I'll just say public static user. I just say user with salt. I don't know, something like that. Because then I can say public void verify login success. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to test. Okay, yeah. So we have the salt in that. To be fair, I think this whole thing is kind of a mess. It's better to just say, like, to make like a say new user Sean. Then you can say data hasher dot hash say song, for example, with again I'm gonna have to say private static salt string salt right equals should I get salt base 64. So then you can say salt, and that would be salt. That's pretty much how we have to do it. So something like that. Don't need that there, just setting it up here. So arrange act user okay variable result equals user logic dot verify login verify login. Oh yeah, the login credentials. Say like you did like Sean. Then that would just be salt. Out user assert dot true results assert dot not null user I don't know, something like that. So the true is failed here. Yeah, because stakes in, yeah. Is that meant to be what was supposed to happen? Oh yeah. I mean, it should be finding something with S. Oh yeah. I get it. Because user logic tests has to still say user, so for each variable user and users, you can then say user logic dot add user. Got to do that. I mean, I would fucking explain something, huh? That one works now. But this one's being a bit of a dick. was originally just song. Let me go back to that idea. What happens then? I think it worked. Can't tell. It seems like a yeah. And News logic has been tested for 58%. Wish I could see what exactly needs to be tested, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, it's just a password big X, right? Pretty sure that's the one we need to test. I'll also test the other scenario. Can I just put this as a using? It's way easier. Because then I can just say login data. Again, do show, but let's do like song, which is not correct. Assert another user, and then assert the false, not true. Yeah, pretty much, right? So, running this, value is not null. But this was correct. Man, if this thing could just fucking work, that'd be nice. If this could just stop being a bitch. What? Why is it going over here? Okay, what is another user then? Yeah, it finds the user. That doesn't necessarily have to be null. I don't think I really have to test that. It's more just like I guess I can test not null, because in this case it exists. And have another one for user logic. Login, new login data. Out user no. Yeah. Assert the null no. How about now? Yep, that works. Okay. as a false, non-existent. Just to make sure I've done everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So we run this. What was it going to say? Apparently I still only tested 58%. Because we still have this valid password to go. That's why. Yeah. This one I could probably make fairy though. Inline data. And then public void is valid password returns result. Arrange, I just say like string str, be like for success we're just gonna have like, for example, and then that works too. Well, no, actually it doesn't. Gotta do like an exclamation mark somewhere in there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, exclamation mark. Act, bool, variable, resval error equals user logic dot is valid password, right? And then you assert dot true res, assert dot not equal val, and then whatever your default was, which is string not empty most likely. And then assert dot null error. Very opposite as well. Very inline data. Public void is valid password. Fail string password. Say like I empty null fuck you all, and then also like that. Basically what you would need to test, and then arrange act bool or variable resval error equals user logic dot is valid password pass. Then you arrange assert dot false res, assert dot not equal string dot empty val, and assert dot not null, or rather even assert dot equal whatever I had for that one, because I don't remember. So as long as string, so I'm just going to copy paste that. I meant to copy that. This versus error. exact thing. Run tests, I guess. Yep, seems to work. Alright. And running this, maybe I should charge my thing again. Anyway, seems to work. But how much has it actually been tested? Everything! Yay! Everything's been tested. In logic, yep, 100% for logic. That's all we need. The rest is optional. Like all these objects, they don't really matter. I mean, to be fair, the access does. And the accessor hasn't been fully tested, but that's fine. User access has been tested for a majority of it. Don't really know what hasn't been tested. I don't know, does the constructor count? Who knows? Yeah, it basically means I've unit tested it all, so that's cool. Now I get to throw a bunch of this in there. Blue. Value. I really think my computer doesn't like this. Like, being completely honest. That's reasonable temperature still. Could be worse. Oh yeah, for color, enum, and then into presentation folder. I can say updated. Cool. And then tests for user logic. Also added unit tests for string utils. Oh, boom. Okay, so that should be it. Then we should have fully tested it. Just have to go to GitHub now. My computer doesn't freak out. Request. dev added unit tests for merge and then make sure to delete this branch. Alright, so we've done the unit tests. Close all. Alright, nice. I mean, the only thing you really need to test really is just logic. If logic's 100%, you're good. Like, that's all that matters. Presentation stuff you have to test yourself. That's just how it is. Those are usually system tests. And when we're talking database stuff, usually you're going to end up doing something else with that. Also, I'm just thinking, I kind of want to change it to be... Can you say async? Yeah. I can say async task await turns a task that can be awaited, done, return async, turn await, can be awaited, turn async await can be waited, async await can be waited, async can be waited, and that's fine. Okay. Okay. So now everything user access is going to turn await okay, then I can say task that can be awaited doesn't work for this now. It'll only work. Yeah, we're gonna say async task long. Async task. Be awaited. Oh, you can only do it with that have a body, really? That's stupid. No, it'd be kind of dumb to await it, because awaiting it kind of breaks the whole thing. So I'm going to change it back. Remove all the async stuff. Because I feel like that would just go against what it's currently able to do. If you were to force it to be awaited, then it would have to, like, well, I guess you could capture an inner variable and then do it, but yeah, I don't know. I think for this type of database it doesn't really matter, but maybe at some point it might be something that we should look into, like into making it asynchronous. In theory, I think all I would need to do is just play it smart, right? Like, I just need to have the main ones in there asynchronous, and then store the asynchronous value in a separate variable that you then return. That way you're still awaiting it. Rather returning a task. And then that one you can kind of just let go. Right. Better yet, you probably should just make like a separate overload that does it asynchronously. It's probably a whole lot smarter of an idea. But yeah. So we got those issues done. Now we get into the worst part of the whole experience. But first, let me go down to user stories. Mark those. So the user can select to log into their account. Yep. Just gonna enter their username. Yep. Enter their password. Yep. Yep. And yep. User registration. You can make an account on the main menu. If you enter their username. That I have not done. So there's some things I would still need to do. Username cannot be already taken by an existing account. Again, that's something I still need to implement. User can enter their password. Must be at least 8 characters long. Do you need small capital letters? No, I do not have that. Guess we're gonna have to change that a little bit. And that I also have not done. So there's a couple things I'm missing. Yeah, so there's a couple things I'm missing. User registration I didn't really consider. Like, yeah, it needs to also have a number. That's pretty easy to change. I mean, it's just annoying. Like, just go into regex and then just like, see all these checks? You can also just do another one, question mark equals dot asterisk 0 to 9 1, right, and then just running it normally. Let's see a test, come on. Right. So you did this, so you went into here, and you typed in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Then at. See, that doesn't work, and if I say A, B, C, D, hold on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, 1 at, then it is allowed. Change menu. So, yeah, it works this way. The only thing I would have to do is change the messages and then also the way you test and read down, then that's pretty much it. Yeah, and then I have to like change some more logic behind users, but then we're actually done with the user registration, okay? We're done after that. I mean, most of this has just been set up. That's really all it is, really. It's always the hardest to start a project than it is to actually like continue it, right? Especially if you have this type of like architecture where a lot of things are just super easy to implement. It's really the start that sucks. Anyway, I'm done for today.